All right, we're back broadcasting live from the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim, Nicky Earnshaw. We're talking Phillies baseball. And now it's time to go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, sponsored by Blitz's Market of Ocean City, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, and their vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the locker room and get $1 off their 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. Let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen. Oh, we temporarily. That's why Nicky's giving me hand signals. I guess Tommy dropped off, but we're going to be talking with Tommy Greene. But you don't forget to send us a text message 609-403-0973 to win this nice locker room prize pack. If you're watching us on the StreamYard, the YouTube channel, or the X platform, we're holding it up right here. We got the locker room insulated lunch bag, and inside we have a Philadelphia Phillies red 2025 National League East Champions jersey, courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures up on the boardwalk in Ocean City, a locker room cup, and a magnet. So it's the grand prize, and then the second and third prize will be just the lunch bag and a magnet. 609-403-0973. The question is, what would you rather see? The Eagles win back-to-back Super Bowls or the Phillies win a World Series this year? 609-403-0973. Give us an explanation. Don't forget to include your name and where you're from at 609-403. Now let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room our good buddy, Tommy Greene. Good morning, T.D. Greene.
Good morning, Billy. How art thou?
Well, I think I want to start off by saying we sent you the clip of Nick Castellanos' post-game comments, and I think Nicky Earnshaw is a little bit more tweaked about it than I am, and we're going to get your thoughts on it. But before we get into that, this Phillies team, I mentioned earlier, they lost Zach Wheeler. Trey Turner's out of the lineup. They just got Bone back. But this team keeps winning, and they're winning in a ballpark that was hard to win in for them last year. They've already won the National League East. I know they're going for this. They want to get that second seed, but they just keep winning. They're playing great baseball, Tommy.
Well, I mean, hey, that's what you wanted them to do. That's what all year, Billy. I've been trying to talk you off the ledge.
No, but I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm a little I thought they'd have like a little letdown, especially with, like Castellanos is obviously not happy, and we'll talk about that. But he's not happy. They lost three big guys, and then they're still winning. I think they're defying logic. They're playing great baseball, and I'm very happy about it.
Well, see that's what you want. That's what you want to happen. You want the next man up to come up here and contribute and do things. To give the team the chance to win. Obviously we've been getting pretty good pitching along the way, and knock on wood, especially since Wheeler went down. That was a big blow.
Yeah.
And for the guys to step up like that, I mean, it's a huge thing. But with other guys filling in for our guys that have been hurt, I mean, you can't ask for any better what's happening. That shows you the dynamic they got going on now and the confidence they got going on now in that clubhouse.
No, Tommy, what's that do for the locker room in general? The camaraderie, the chemistry. Everybody's participating. So when you're celebrating winning the NL East, everybody feels a part of the equation, right?
Yeah, hey, you win, it takes care of everything. So I mean, when you're winning, the clubhouse is great. When you're losing, it can be a little let down in there, a little dull, a little bit. People want to play well, they want to win, and but they're playing good baseball. So I mean, I'm thinking that the clubhouse is a pretty good place to be right now.
Now, last year at this time, the Phillies were kind of like not playing. They weren't. It just didn't feel like they had a vibe. And of course, then they go into the Mets series, and they had you felt like that game with the games were lost before they even threw the first pitch. I'm not getting that feeling this year. I'm feeling that this team's firing all cylinders, despite the fact that Nick Castellanos isn't happy, and we'll talk about that in a second. But do you get that same sense?
Well, I mean, I feel like they got all the confidence in the world that they can do what needs to be done, and I think they've made. I think they've made what it feels like to me in this watching them play. They've made a really conscious effort to go about their business the right way. Now that they've clinched the division, they want to get that second seed and tight and get that thing done. It puts you in a good mode to finish things off and play good baseball and play sound baseball and not make the mistakes and they seem to be resilient a little bit. They've been a team of late that have, so to speak, if we do give up a couple runs early, we tend to bounce right back and come and outscore them for the rest of the game, and that's a good sign for a ball club to go into the postseason with, and that because it's a never say die attitude, and they got that.
And it wasn't like they were playing against a team that had nothing to play for. I mean, Arizona prior to the game last night was only 2 games out of a playoff spot, so they're still playing like they have something to prove.
Yeah, there's a bunch of teams out there doing some stuff like that. So I mean, it's they got to be because the other teams are going to have some fire in their belly. They're trying to get in there and do some things, and that's the way we got to play too. We got to have that fire in the belly. We're fighting for something. We want that second seed. We want to get it done. We don't have that many games left, so if we keep continuing to play over this last week or so, the type of baseball we need to play, it puts us in a good frame of mind going in. If we get that second seed to that bye round and to get a couple days down to help some guys heal. And really set their pitching up what it needs to be, so the mojo will still be going.
Well, last night the team had 13 hits, and, of course, leading the charge was this Harrison Bader, who's on fire, in fuego. I mean, he has it's almost like his attitude, his personality, he's so upbeat, right, Nick? I mean, he seems like he has – and he's on fire. I think he's been hit like 400 in the last 30 days. The guy's he's really a great acquisition for this team.
Well, he's gotten hot at the right time, and that's exactly what you want with that acquisition. The trade deadline is for that guy you get or guys you get to come in and contribute and get hot and do what they've been doing, so to speak, and not cool off. And that's exactly what he's done, and actually really exceeded. A little bit what I thought. I always knew he was a good outfielder and stuff, but he's obviously hitting a lot better enough. Having a good year, for him. So, which is great to ride. I'd ride that horse as long as you can, man. So.
We're talking with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, as we do each and every weekend throughout the summer baseball season. But Tommy Greene, now we got to, there's an elephant in the room, and we just played the clip that Nick Castellanos post-game comments last night. He doesn't seem happy. I know. Did you get a chance to listen to it?
I listened to part of it, and I had to turn it off because I'll tell you in a minute why. So you keep talking, and we'll go with it from there.
Well, listen, I think Nicky Earnshaw, and you can speak to this, Nick, for yourself. I'm not going to defend you, but I think Nicky's more upset about this than I am. I happen to think that maybe manager Topper knows what he's doing because Nick Castellanos had a great game last night.
Well, I mean, as long as Nick keeps going out there and when he's called upon and does the job, that's all that matters. That is his job. It's not about what Nick wants all the time. Bottom line, it's about what the team wants all the time. And the manager pushes the button, and obviously he's pushed that button, but for a reason. So sometimes you have to walk by a mirror and look into it. That's my little thing for Nick, but the rest of it, I'm listening to that clip and I'm listening to all the reporters. Me personally, I would not have stood there that long and been barraged by the same questions, a lot of bull crap, trying to get a negative response so they can put stuff and make the tabloids or whatever to get a negative vibe going on. That's exactly what's happened.
I mean, Nick,
I would not have said, if you don't have nothing, we're playing good baseball. Hey, and I heard him say more than once.
Yes,
I'm happy with Nick. Hey, it's about I'm going to go out there and do the best I can with the situation the way it is, and I don't blame Nick for being upset. I'd want to play too, and it's all right to feel that way. But it's also a team game, and he's got to be. And he said some good comments about him. Hey, I want to do what's best for the team now, or however he put it. It made me feel good, a little bit better about it. About that situation, but you kept on hearing the reporters kind of digging and poking and keep
prodding,
negative, prodding, and all that crap. they'd been out of my locker a long time before that. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I think the thing for me, it was just the comments regarding Rob Thompson and the lack of communication there. I didn't love that he aired that out. And then I'm with you on towards the end when they were just kind of poking at him a little bit more. That I thought was unfair. But I thought the Rob Thompson comments, they were open to criticism because I don't love he's going out there and saying, I really don't talk to my manager. I'm paraphrasing, essentially. I have a lack of communication there. I didn't love him airing that out publicly. Did you get the chance to listen to that part?
Well, I didn't listen to that part, but to have that, and all that tells you that he's upset about the situation.
True. Yep.
And which is totally fine. He's human too, and I can get that he's upset. But it's like John Kruk used to say, if you're upset at something, he said it about the fans and stuff, people not wanting to come play here, and he'd always tell the guy, people who don't want to come play here or have played here and they're complaining about it, the only way you get them to be quiet is play better.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
You're right.
And it's the same way with Nick and them. With every ball player on that roster in the big leagues right now.
See,
if you don't like what's happening, when you get the opportunity to play better, that'll make it easier for him to write your name down in that spot in the lineup.
Yeah, so I think like Nick Earnshaw, I was telling Nicky Earnshaw, I think this is actually a good problem to have for maybe it lights a fire under him. Maybe Robbie Thompson has a method to his madness, lit a fire under Nick Castellanos. Now he's got something to prove. And that can only be a good thing for the Phillies. And you did hear him say on numerous occasions that he loves the guys in the locker room and he's here to help the team win a World Series.
Yes, you did hear that, and that's what I like about it. And that's all that matters. But then and the interview just lasted way too long with them trying to dig, and kept prodding and procking that, and they got probably what they wanted to at the end. Some negative comments or whatever they wanted to write, they can spill it and spin it the way they want. You know what I mean? So, that's just part of the business, and it's part of the thing you got to know as a player. To make clubhouse a better place. You don't want the negativity starting to roll around there because one guy's disgruntled.
And do you think that? So Tommy, you think that in a way the reporters could contribute to the cancer itself because
God, yeah, man, it's ridiculous. And the only way you do that is you let them know up front, hey, this is it. This is the way I feel about it. I'm done with it.
Right.
I don't want to hear no more about it. Don't come to my locker asking the same questions over and over again.
We're talking with Tommy Greene, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene. Tommy, let me turn our attention real quick because we got a few minutes left. Tommy, Aaron Nola's getting the ball tonight, and his ERA is 6.44. And obviously we all know about the struggles of Aaron Nola this year. But does he have time to what do you expect to see out of him tonight?
Well, man, I'm just hoping he keeps working what he's doing in between and working on what he needs to do to try to command the baseball better. And get in and start getting that positive mojo going. He seems to have one bad inning that kills him, which is going to dictate how he's possibly going to be used during the postseason. So we got to, he's got something to fight for too. So he's going out there to prove something. He's trying to improve every time he comes out there, and he's capable of doing that. So he's got to locate his fastball, command what he's doing with that fastball and keep it down in the zone early. That way he can pitch up out of the zone later and not live in the middle of the zone. So that's where you get hurt at all the time, no matter if you throw 100. So
Tommy, before we get out of here, Nola is an interesting cat right now because there's a lot of talk about what the postseason rotation is going to look like. Will they go three lefties? Will they go Sanchez, Ranger, Luzardo? Or will they find a way to get Aaron Nola into that rotation in the NLDS? If it were up to you, would you still ride with Nola as one of those first three starters?
Well, I look at that. Who's hot going in? Who's pitching well? And obviously, Nola's got the experience and done it. And he could be something that you use, as a piggyback situation, maybe with one of the guys or whatever. Depends on what happened going on during the course of the game. Maybe because Nola can pitch as good as anybody. He showed. This year's been his worst year for that stuff, but he showed that he can pitch with anybody for 4 or 5 innings. But he seems to have that one inning that beats him up a little bit. So that's what he's got to figure out. I think he could be an asset, but I think you got to ride with the guys who got you there, who's pitching well at the time.
right.
You know, and it's not a macho thing. It's about team now. So.
I love it, Tommy. Man, listen, I'm feeling good about my Philadelphia Phillies, and you know we're gonna ride you the whole way through. Hopefully, we get to the World Series and get a World Series win. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having you up all the way up until October, baby. October, Red October.
You got it, man. Looking forward to seeing the bank rock.
All right, there he is. Thank you, Tommy, and we'll talk to you next weekend.
Okay, you got it.
There he is, Tommy Greene on the Tom's River Volkswagen Sports Hotline, brought to you by Blitz's Market of Ocean City, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, and their vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the locker room and get $1 off their 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. You heard Nick, like he said that Castellanos stood there and he would have walked away. He wouldn't have let him have that, much time.
I thought towards the end, and I've been consistent. I think the Thompson comments are fair to criticize. I think that part of the equation there with Castellanos.
You know what I think, Nick? I think you're trying to start something.
I'm not. That's fair to criticize him for airing out his manager.
No,
but towards the end, the line of questioning was repetitive and unnecessary.
I think Bob Cooney did a great job. I
love Bob.
Bob's a great guy, but I think, like you said, and I agree with you, I think that they were trying to find something that's not there. Yeah, he's pissed, and we all know it. But you don't have to come out and get him to, like what do you want him to say? Like, if you're Nick, if you and I were in the platoon situation, I want to beat you out.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
I play every day.
The guy's played every day for how many years now, and then all of a sudden he's going to platoon.
Right.
Well, if you hit better and you were at the dish and had better numbers, you still would be playing every day. So that aspect of it has to be remembered.
Phillies at 8:10 tonight, Aaron Nola on the hill. All right, the first hour of the locker was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with over 20 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give Chris Mooney a call in the Ocean City office, 609-399-1227. Now, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. When we return, we'll wrap up hour number one. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Nicky Earnshaw right here on 97.3 ESPN.